The following is paid programming and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Good morning and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Advanced Audiology. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, who's running late. On the Senior Hour, 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And our first guest this morning is Mr. Steve Leteau of Advanced Audiology. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Barbara. I'm certainly glad to be here. I hope I do half the job that Nola usually does, but she's out of town right now, so I'm sort of pinch hitting like in baseball.
Well, you usually are sitting out in the waiting room waiting for her when she's on.
Right.
So now you're in here.
I am, and this is very exciting for me. This is the first time I've ever done this.
Well, you're doing great so far.
Thank you. I
Now,
appreciate that.
what are we talking about?
Well, what we want to talk about is a lot of people don't realize how important hearing and hearing loss is to their everyday lives, their social lives, and things like that. Mm-hmm. We recently went over to Oakmont, and my mother-in-law is now a resident there, and the number of people over there that have hearing loss and are not able to communicate across the table at lunch and the social interaction, I mean, that's what our lives are about, is communication.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I've been wearing hearing aids myself for 46, 47 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
Well, people think they're part of my glasses, Barbara. They don't see them, and that's the thing that's really funny, is because people don't want to really get hearing aids because they're afraid it's going to make them look old or ancient.
That's right.
But you know what does make them look old is when you have to repeat everything several times, and it's annoying, especially for spouses. I love the comment, I hear everybody but my spouse.
Yes.
So Nola and I are cramming on becoming marriage counselors so that we can actually take care of that aspect of hearing loss also.
That's a great idea. Great idea.
Thank you.
And who just walked in?
Morning, Dr. Dorio.
Can't
Hopefully
imagine.
not a great idea.
Yes, it is a great idea.
Nice to see you.
How you doing, my love?
Good, good.
Good, good.
Thank you for asking. Appreciate it.
You're doing good.
Yeah, you know, it's once again going to be a hot day here in Santa Clarita.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, and, you know, I still don't think it's as bad as usual, you know, for mid-August. Usually it's over 100 for countless number of days, and it might be 100 a day, but we always remind our seniors, take a lot of fluid, stay hydrated, be careful, don't fall. You know,
Right.
these are big time quality of life issues, other than making sure that they can hear.
Well, you know, it's funny you should mention falling, because what happens a lot of times is when people do have a hearing loss, they hear a sound, but they're not sure where it is, and it startles them, and they'll maybe misstep, and the next thing you know, they're down on the
They're
ground.
on the floor.
Oh,
Yes.
And something that was very interesting is that recently one of the manufacturers came out with a program where you can actually program 3 phone numbers into the hearing aid so that if a senior falls, it actually sends a message to that person, and they can make sure and come over and you know, to help the person. Because that happened to my dad several years ago. He fell and he was on his back on top of the dog all night. So.
Oh, my goodness.
No, that's it's a common problem, and usually and sometimes it's a life-changing problem, because resulting from falls, they will break their hip or they'll have a concussion, and they might need hospitalization, possibly surgery, and they might not be able to live at home for a while or ever again. So it's life-changing, and it happens every day in every community around the world.
Well, we've seen it firsthand. My mother-in-law lived in New York for a long time. She's 88, and she moved out here, and she wasn't very mobile, doesn't hear very well, and we were able to take care of some of those issues, and now she's doing quite well, and she has social interaction, which she didn't have before, and that's really a big key to life.
Absolutely.
And hearing aids are a big key to that.
Well, they are. You know, it's kind of like I put my glasses on, I put my hearing aids on in the morning, and it's just so second nature to me. I wouldn't think being without them. And when I do take them off, it's like I don't hear a darn thing, which sometimes makes Nola happy.
And, you know, it's becoming, it definitely is a quality of life issue. And even I think some of the presidential candidates are saying that we have to be able to see, we have to be able to hear, we have to be able to chew, and older adults need to have the ability to take care of it. And, you know, part of the safety net to keep people in their homes has to be those three factors that allow them to attain that quality of life. But we're seeing it every day. You're not eating, poor nutrition, you're not hearing, you're startled, you fall, seeing, no glasses, can't watch TV. You know, there's just so many things that go on with these sensory factors that are diminished as we get older, but yet some people can't afford or just don't have the knowledge base to say, hey, I got to get this fixed.
Well, they don't realize that when you do buy hearing aids to improve your quality of life, that you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for everyone else around you, because people really get tired of having to repeat everything several times. So I think that's the big thing, is you not only improve your own social life, but the social life of others around you. And it, you know, it eliminates stress and arguments and things like that.
But, you know, one of the factors as we get older, you know, we are threatened that we're going to lose our license, our driver's license. And part of driving is not only your reactions and, you know, staying on the road, but part of it is being able to hear if there's a siren
Absolutely.
coming in your direction. If somebody beeps you to say, hey, there's a little problem going on, you know, and if you cannot hear that, you could get into an accident. Something could happen. And that is a warning sign. If you have been startled in traffic because you did not hear a siren, that could mean something, and that could say to you, you better be screened. If you don't have hearing aids at that point, you better be screened to make sure that you can work on that part of it, because, yeah, you might get into an accident one day and cause bigger problems than you think, and the ambulance that's going through might be the ambulance that takes you to the hospital too.
Yeah, that's very true. And I noticed that myself one day. I had to go across the street, and they were working on my hearing aids, and I pulled out, and I triple checked the traffic to make sure that I didn't cause an accident, because I couldn't hear a thing. I thought to myself, oh my God, what if an emergency vehicle comes by, or an ambulance, and I don't hear it, and I cause a mishap or an accident, and you know, someone's injured, or myself, or so it's a real concern.
And, you know, losing one's driver's license, you know, is a problem, because you lose your independence. And if you lose your driver's license because you've been in an accident, you know, your family, the people around you are saying, you know, this could be problematic. We saw that in our mom, and she actually drove pretty good until she was about 92.
Wow.
But then after that, we started to see some changes of her. She could pretty much stay in her lane, but, you know, we could see that she was much more cautious and driving slower to make sure she's able to get home, get to the grocery store. But, you know, of course, that was a big leap for us to say, Mom, you need to consider not driving anymore. And, you know, that was very detrimental to her. I mean, one quick story about that is that, you know, we were trying to tell her and hopefully come to an agreement that we would, you know, she would stop driving and give up her car keys. But she resisted. She just did not want to do that. And my brother, he finally said, Mom, you know, you can, and took her car battery out.
Wow.
But she got AAA and put another battery in and did it again. Took the
Where there's a will, there's a way.
And then she, my brother went in there a third time I'm not sure if he was going to take the battery out again, but when he got in the car, the alarm went off. And she had redone the alarms so that she had 3 distinct ways that you had to inactivate the alarms, and my brother didn't know what those were, nor did we.
Wow.
So she had alarmed her car so we couldn't get in it and couldn't take the battery out nor take the car away.
Wow.
So she was wise in her battle to remain a driver, but eventually she stopped. And I'm not sure exactly why. You know, this was a 1972 Chevy Malibu that had like 62,000 miles on it
That's nothing.
in fairly pristine shape. So it was all, you know, everybody, if you rode with her, everybody would roll down their window and say, "Hey, you want to sell your car?"
Oh, sure.
You
It's
know, they
classic.
see her, you know, sunk down in the seat, but she drive that car to her grocery store and to the little places that she enjoyed. But eventually, she ended up giving it up. My cousin, who collects cars, asked if he could have her car or
Oh,
buy
yeah.
the car,
Sure.
and she said, "I'll just give it to you."
Wow.
And that ended it, you know. So, but we don't always have that nice ending where she stopped driving. But she was about 92, I think.
Wow.
And that was, you know, she didn't sustain any major accidents or anything. So, you know, she was just getting started. Now, the best part is, what do we have? Uber, Lyft.
Sure.
You know, friends, of course, buses, free bus rides here in Santa Clarita. You can't beat that.
Right.
So, you know, we have to, at some point, enhance our ability for older adults to get around. But realizing that you can't drive should not be the end of your independence. You have to be able to keep going and, you know, do the same things that you've done before in the past. So getting back to the hearing part, though, you know, some people worry that the costs are going to be high. And there are different ways of looking at it. As a physician, I have to look at, you know, the benefits versus the costs, and knowing that there's a balance in there somewhere. And if you don't, you know, you're not careful with that, you know, you could actually lose the benefits, or it would cost you a lot more. So, you know, one of the things that we need to heed is and understand is there are ways to, you know, allow us to be evaluated, and that's the first thing, but also be able to get into a pair of hearing aids that will help you out and change your life.
Well, that's the thing with hearing aids. What it does is it allows a person to start doing the things that they stopped doing that they didn't realize the hearing loss was preventing them from doing. You know, things like family gatherings. You can always tell someone who can't hear. They're sitting in the corner, nodding their head, haven't heard a word you've said.
It's sad, isn't it? Yeah.
Or would you rather sit in the back of the church or sit in the front pews with it trying to hear? And so what we do is we educate people first. First thing to do is to come in, and we're going to test you in two different ways. One is with a tone, and a lot of people can hear the tones, but it's speech discrimination that they have a problem with.
Yes.
You know, certain words, and it's usually consonants, the softer sounds, the PHs, the Fs, the things like that. We never sell someone or fit them with something that is more than what they actually need. And so what we're going to do is there's different degrees of hearing loss, so there's different products. Some people want to be able to hear, you know, music. We had a fellow that came in the other day that hadn't heard his music, and I can't tell you how long. We fit him with hearing aids, and he was able to listen to his recorded music. Tears were streaming down his cheeks.
I bet.
It was
I bet.
unbelievable. So Nola was crying too.
Well, you know, she accomplished something. She saw someone who was so eternally grateful
Right.
that Nola had helped solve the problem.
Well, that's
know?
part of the reason that she does this is what is it going to do? How is it going to affect her life and her heart and being able to give back to the
Yes.
community? As you know, NOLA does give back to the community. In fact, we donate 10% of our proceeds every month to a different nonprofit. And by gosh, I think there's over 100 nonprofits up here in Santa
I think
Clarita.
they're probably more than
Oh
that.
my gosh, and there's so many wonderful ones that
Oh, yes.
just makes us feel good that we're able to do that. But what's also really neat is the fact that when someone does decide to do business with us, part of their cost of the hearing aids gets donated back to the community. So they're part of the community also.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there are so many different ways to take care of paying for expensive hearing aids. And they are expensive. But there are many different ways. And NOLA, I know, works with everyone when they can't come up with $10,000. Whoops.
Well,
You know, who has
boy.
$10,000 that they can pull out of their back pocket?
Actually, top of the line, Barbara, are a little less than that. They're
Oh,
more
yeah, I
like
know they
6,000,
are.
6,500. But
I know.
it's
You're
kind
always afraid of that.
it's
But that's
so
true.
expensive.
there are some big box stores that offer hearing aids. Unfortunately, it's 3-year-old technology, and if you want to be able to hear a noise, you're not going to be able to do that. I network on a lot of different groups, and with an 85% hearing loss, I can go to a group of like 200 people, and I program it into directional, and I can hear the person that's next to me, and they don't even know I'm wearing hearing aids.
Cool.
That's right. And like I said, there are many different ways that you can pay for them.
Sure, there are.
And
Absolutely.
it makes it a lot easier to stomach the fact that you've got, $6,500.
Well, not
that I
everybody
can
needs
hear.
$6,500
No,
hearing
that's
aids.
true. However, there are people who do.
There are.
My husband was in that
Sure.
situation. He waited too long.
Right.
And he would always say to me, "What'd you say? I didn't hear you. What was that again?" And finally, he talked himself into the fact that, hey, I need to do something about this. I'm missing a lot.
Well, equally important is the practitioner, because everything is set up on a computer now with software programs and things, and you have to continue to become more familiar with the new programs. They've got new hearing aids now that actually translate. If someone speaks to you in a foreign language, it'll translate it right into English into your ears.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It really is amazing.
I don't know where the technology is going next. It's just
Right, that's great.
unbelievable.
But-
What it does is it just gives a person their life back.
That's
But
right.
the bottom
does.
line, though, is for our listeners of those who can't hear us well, is to get a screening test. You really have to make sure that, because most of the time people are thinking to themselves, "I'm fine." People are, but there are little
They
clues.
get used to
Sure.
the
Right.
situation.
They get used
they're
to
in.
it, and then as
Yes.
caregivers and people around them, we don't quite get used to them. But you have to be screened, because it could be something as simple as wax, and that's it. Whereas, and let's say it's wax, you still want to have a baseline to know where you are, so that down the line, if 2 years, 5 years down the line, you might go, hey, maybe I am having a problem, and you can see how the 2 to 5 years have changed your hearing if there's a lessening of it. And that's important.
Sure.
That's important to know, because that's then your clue that you have to do something about it.
Well, we do about 2,500 free screenings a year, because we know how important it is. So if anyone wants a free screening, they can call us at 661-253-3277, and we're located at 23822 Valencia Boulevard, right next to AAA and across the street from the sheriff's station. And we'd love to be able to do that, because it really makes us feel good when we're able to change someone's personal life.
That's wonderful, Steve. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. And
Thanks.
please,
It was great.
You
I
did
love
a
it.
great job.
Now, when
Nola's out of town.
Nola's out of town again, you can take her place,
Well,
and
thank-
you'll feel comfortable.
Well, you guys made it so easy, and we made it just like home. It was really a piece of cake.
We
And
hear
the
you.
engineer,
Terrific.
was great. too.
Thank you so much again, Steve.
Okay, you're
and give our
welcome.
best to Nola.
Thank you. We will.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
Today for lunch, why not try the Sandwich Shop? Located on Avenue Stanford in Valencia, the Sandwich Shop offers dozens of hot or cold, affordable, premium deli sandwiches. Gourmet soups and salads are also available. Regulars indulge in the Dutch Crunch Roll on the twice-baked baguettes, which is a customer favorite. Top it off with owner Charlie Chong's Chunky Chocolate Chip Cookie. Breakfast and catering is also available. The Sandwich Shop, since 1983, located on Avenue Stanford right off Rye Canyon. ValenciaSandwichShop.com to place your order.
Once heart attack symptoms begin, delaying treatment increases the risk of heart damage, disability, and even death. Time is critical. Leading the Valley with the most advanced digital technology and treatment times that beat national best practice goals, Providence offers emergency coronary angioplasty and stenting performed by highly trained board-certified cardiologists. For more information, call 1-888-HEALING. The road to healing leads to Providence.
Hi, I'm Miles McNamara, Certified Senior Advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. Our caregivers help you in your own home. A Comfort Keeper can provide companionship, meal preparation, medication monitoring, assistance with personal care, transportation to doctor appointments, all enhancing your independence and safety in the comfort and privacy of your own home. So if you or someone you love could use a helping hand at home, call Comfort Keepers at 287-4200. That's 287-4200.
Aloha, friends. Go check out Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brew coffee. What makes their coffee special is how their organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. They're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha.
And now for your convenience, a second Honu location at 23502 Lyons Avenue between Peachland and Apple.
Santa Clarita's premier senior living community, Oakmont of Santa Clarita, is leasing, bringing comfort and luxury to assisted living. Seniors can enjoy 5-star amenities, panoramic views, easy access to the freeways, and nearby shopping centers in a world-class community that provides an advanced continuum of care. No other community has this kind of luxury and amenities in our valley. You'll find good health, vitality, and purpose at Oakmont of Santa Clarita. Stop by for a tour. Visit oakmontofsantaclarita.com.
Owning Corporation, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1797976, DRE License 02063270. MLO endorsement. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions.
Crazy things are going on in the world right now, like owning funding 15-year fixed refis at 2.99 rate and APR. Yes, you heard correctly, 2.99 rate and APR with no fees of any kind. Needless to say, people are going to owning.com for this free closer rate and APR like mad. In fact, if you have both a real estate and mortgage license, we may want to hire you. Look, money is so dirt cheap, most folks are taking cash out of their equity to do just about anything, including sticking it into their bank accounts, just to have it there. Wouldn't you be crazy not to go to owning.com and grab 2.99 APR, no closing costs, no BS, no nonsense money while it's out there? Call 855-5-OWNING or go to owning.com to not miss these monthly savings. 855-5-OWNING.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Dr. Gene Dorio with my co-host Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS. I just wanted to point out before we get to Miles McNamara from Comfort Keepers that tonight at Canyon Country Advisory Council, I will be talking. It starts at 7 o'clock. It's on Sierra Highway in Canyon Country, and my topic will be Let's Put Grandma in a Nursing Home. So
and that's at the Moose Lodge. Moose Lodge on Sierra
Highway. So it'll be a lot of fun. Starts at 7, so any of you listeners who want to prevent Grandma from going to a nursing home, we will attempt to give you some clues and hints to that. And one of the clues and hints toward that is Miles McNamara from Comfort Keepers in Home Care, because that's what you do. That's the idea of aging in place instead of going to a nursing home is key and important to our older adults and their quality of life.
Right, and home care is the option. And before I go there, I want to warn our family, though, and our adult kids, and I'm sure you've seen this too, Dr. Dorio, is that's our goal, is not to put Grandma in a nursing home, but don't go out on a limb and promise Grandma I'll never put you in a nursing home, because sometimes we can't fulfill our promises in that grandma may pass the acuity level, and her health may deteriorate, and things may happen where, unfortunately, God forbid, a nursing home is the only option because of her medical situation, and now you're faced with breaking that promise. So obviously our goal is to keep our seniors where they want to be. Some choose assisted living, some choose to want to stay at their own home, but our goal is to give them what they want. But just be cautious in making promises that are really out of your control. The intent is good. The heart and the gesture is good, but sometimes I got a frog in my throat. But sometimes, just be conscious of that. And
right now, unfortunately, there are a lot of older adults who are going into nursing homes. They're being funneled in, and that's
against their will.
Against their will, and yes, we have to be very careful in how we approach it with those older adults. But I foresee, if we do all the right things, put everything in the right order, that 90% easily of older adults will be able to stay in their homes. We will figure that out. Now, that's going to take another few years to a decade to figure out. We'll have to figure out the finances, but a lot of that I will talk about tonight as well. But it's important that, yes, it is an option, but not one older adult, not one senior in my career has ever said, Dr. Dorio, I want to go to a nursing home.
Right.
Not one.
And again, home care being an option, it's weird, almost being 2 decades old, to say that home care is relatively new industry. It kind of really is, as long as health and home health and stuff has been around. Home care, a lot of people don't realize, because they don't know what they don't know, is they get us confused with home health. And right now there's going to be some revolutionary changes, I feel, in the whole Medicare program as far as paying for home care. Right now it doesn't. Some Medicare Advantage plans are putting their toe in the water as far as paying for some home care, because they're seeing the benefits of the proactive use of home care to prevent that broken hip, to prevent that slip and fall. But a lot of times families, until that happens, families come together. Some seniors are in a position to pay for it out of pocket. Other, situations, the family comes together, and the kids and everybody, they kind of jump in and start a pool, so to speak, to pay for home care to keep mom or grandma at home. So again, there's different options out there, and you can customize a schedule to be there. Obviously there's no need to have a comfort keeper there while grandma's sleeping, if she's sleeping through the night. But the peak times of, to make sure she's taking her medications on time, to make sure she's getting her bath and her shower, to make sure she's eating well, staying hydrated during these hot days. So, but home care is really the option that brightens our seniors' eyes, because that's where they want to stay. And when they have the opportunity to stay in their own home, where all the pictures of their grandkids are hanging, not that they couldn't bring those pictures with them, but there's something different about being in the four walls that you raised your family, which is your heritage, which is your, the whole
your home
history. Yes, exactly.
Home.
So to give them that option, and the families come together, and like I said, they'll pitch in or what have you. I'm just looking forward to the day that Medicare really kicks in and sees the benefit. I think we've talked about it on the show before. Insurance used to not pay for that. The gastric bypass surgery, and, which causes you to lose hundreds of pounds. But then they said, well, wait a minute, if we pay for that now, and we save all this money down the road with healthier patients.
That's right.
So that's the way I look at home care. Don't, because we get a lot of comments from people out in the community. Well, we don't need you yet. Well, my suggestion is, well, how about using me before you need me as much? Let's make sure that mom doesn't fall and break a hip, like I said earlier. Let's make sure she doesn't mismanage her meds, which is one of the top reasons seniors go into the hospital. Because we can be there when the incident happens and you need us 24/7, but let's look at some proactive care, and especially for our adult kids, because the family caregiver is so overstressed and overworked. And we've got that, familiar term now is the sandwich generation, where you've got the adult kids taking care of their own children and their own family, and then they're running over and making sure that mom or dad ate well, took their meds, what have you. And they're just so stressed out, and they're not a lot of times aware of the resources that are out there. And there's that old sayings, when you're on an airplane, they say, put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others. And the reason is you'll pass out if you don't. Then you're not going to be any good to anybody. And that's what we tell our adult kids and our family caregivers who may need some respite care. Yeah, if you want to be the primary caregiver, that's your choice, but you need to get out and have a life and, get your hair done or, just, chill for a bit. So we do a lot of respite care, let the family caregivers get out and about and kind of regroup and catch their breath and, that type of thing. But the family caregiver, I think in the past have tried to they've statistically tried to put a dollar figure on it, and it's in the billions with a B, that the unpaid family caregiving that's happening across America right now, that, people don't even realize they're a caregiver. If you're checking in on somebody, you're a caregiver.
That's right.
There's obviously different levels of caregiving. There's the hands-on, live with mom, vice versa type of situation where you're the caregiver. But a lot of times you have our adult kids bouncing around and checking in and doing this kind of stuff in that sandwich generation. And someone says to them, are you a caregiver? Oh, no, I just check in with mom. You're a caregiver.
That's right.
And so family caregiving is so prevalent, and a lot of times people don't even realize that they are the family caregiver, as our aging loved ones, want to age in place, but they need a helping hand, not quite as independent as they used to be. And a lot of talks I have with our clients is it is so difficult for our adult kids, and I know we've talked about this before, but it so bears repeating because you can't say it enough. Is that circle of life? When we all come into this world naked and screaming and crying, we're probably all going out naked and screaming and crying. Who knows?
Right.
But there is that circle of life where our parents are our heroes. They raise us. They mentor us. They guide us. And then as that pendulum starts to swing, and our parents are slowing down a little bit, and they're not maybe making the best decisions anymore because of cognitive issues. Now that adult child is thrust into the role of parenting their parent, which is bar none, the most difficult transition one will ever make.
Absolutely.
Now you basically have to accept the fact that mom or dad doesn't have the final word anymore. Maybe they're not making the best decisions anymore because of cognitive impairment. Nothing else. Unfortunately, dementia, Alzheimer's, it's a nasty disease. But, statistics show that by the time someone's 80 years old, 1 in 3 will have some form of cognitive impairment, and I think after 80, it becomes 1 in 2. So we just have to be aware, because a lot of times I'll get my adult kids saying, well, mom really needs it, but she won't accept it. Yeah. Okay, well, let's have this difficult conversation now, because mom, again, our seniors are proud, and they don't want to be a burden. They don't want to lose their independence. They don't want, but they don't understand that caregiving is something more that something that home health does. God, I hate people who do that. Sorry about that, folks. That was my phone I forgot to mute. That just broke my chain of thought. What was I talking about? But, that as far as, helping their parents and making that final decision, that they don't have the final say anymore. So mom may need it, but mom doesn't want it. But that's not where the conversation should end, because now what? Are you going to call me back next month when mom has fallen and hitting her head and now suffering from a brain bleed or a head trauma or a broken hip or what have you? So step back. There's a lot of resources out in the community to help you make those decisions, to help come alongside you and help you with your parents. And because a lot of times, I'm sure you've seen this as a physician, you'll have a daughter sitting there talking to mom, just completely being shut down by mom. But then someone else will come in, be it a nurse or another and say the exact same thing and go, that's a great idea.
That's right.
Because we're still in the eyes of our parents, their children.
That's right.
And they get very defensive, and they don't want their children telling them what to do.
What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine.
Exactly.
Yes.
So again, we as adult children have to be aware of that dynamic. So maybe it's better to call on a friend or another medical professional. But as I was saying earlier before my phone rang and totally interrupted me, is that caregiving kind of goes to that term almost more to home health than us, because we're more like personal assistants, more like kind of concierge, if you will, because we don't have medical licenses. We literally are the adult children that can come in and give the real adult children the break, and we can do the meal preparation, we can do the light housekeeping, we can help mom and dad in and out of the shower, we can go to the store and stock the cabinets, we can make sure the food in the refrigerator is not spoiled, we can make sure they're taking their medications at 10 and 2 like they're supposed to.
And
so whatever the case is.
It's not always the kids.
Right.
It's the spouse
Absolutely.
also.
Yep. Been there, done that, huh, Barb?
Yes, I certainly have.
Yeah.
And I realized at some point I couldn't go to bed and get a good night's sleep unless there was someone there with Russ.
Well, and the difference there, Barb, and you realized when you needed help, you asked for help, and you called for help, and we were privileged enough to come in and help with you and Russ. Now, in that generation, it was a different generation. Flip that coin for a minute. If the roles had been reversed and you needed the help, Russ came from a time, and I'm talking about generalities now with our seniors, the man was the provider. He was the hunter. He was the gatherer. He was going to take care of it. And anybody dare come through his door and say that he needs help taking care of his woman, and taking care of his family. It was a whole different dynamic.
That's very true.
So a lot of times we come up with our adult male seniors, pardon the language, I'll say heck and high water. You are not coming in. I am the man. I will take care of my lovey, and you will, so there has to be a conversation. There has to be approach. No, you're still the boss. You're still the man in charge. But we just want to give a helping hand here so that, that your loved one is taken care of. But that dynamic of our seniors in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, the man was the protector. He was the provider, and now someone's coming into his home trying to say that he can't take care of his wife of 50 years. That's a conversation that we have to be aware of, and our adult kids have to be aware of when they approach dad about needing help with mom. There's all these different dynamics that come into play that we don't stop to think about, that we take for granted.
That's very true. Well, it's interesting because Russ didn't want me to have someone come in.
Right.
He said, I'll be fine. You can go to bed and go to sleep. Well, I knew that I couldn't and get a good night's sleep myself, because that ear was always listening. Is he getting out of that chair?
Right.
Is he trying to walk?
And he was going to try.
Oh, well, he did.
Yep.
He did.
Yeah.
And I tried to catch him, and I fell also, and I said, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, from my perspective as a physician, one important point that has helped me tremendously through Comfort Keepers has been you've provided a second set of eyes, a third set of eyes to be able to help family, doctor, nurses take care of their loved one at home.
Right.
And without your eyes, there are sometimes that, I go in and I look for the dangers so they don't fall, but sometimes the people who have come in through Comfort Keepers have said, there's a problem here. There's a problem with this hassock. There's a problem with this throw rug. There's a problem with these steps here. And that has allowed us to make an adjustment so they don't fall. And to me, that's critical. If you're going to be able to sustain a person in their home, you have to have a second or a third or a fourth set of eyes, and that's what Comfort Keepers does.
Right. Well, everyone is so overwhelmed. They're seeing the deterioration of their loved ones. They have so many plates spinning. Sometimes they can't see the forest for the trees. Right. So sometimes that extra set of eyes to walk in and say, hey, have you thought about doing this? And you just kind of bowls you over because of the obvious Captain Obvious aspect. But again, you've been a little distracted. You've been a little overwhelmed. So, there's nothing wrong with having that extra set of eyes come in. And I know we're coming up on a break, so when we come back, maybe we can talk about coming up at our annual Senior Center's Caregiver Resource Day. Some of those resources that we've alluded to that some of our adult kids aren't aware of, that there are resources, there is support out there when we're caring for an aging loved one.
That's a good idea. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Lots of people can build websites, but there's one Santa Clarita company that specializes in designing websites for your business. Small Dog Creative. The Small Dog Creative team is made up of local designers who are hands-on. Their talented team of experts build premium websites and redefine branding. Small Dog Creative doesn't just build websites. They'll upgrade your business's online presence and turn your business into a powerful online brand. Small Dog Creative, Santa Clarita's most innovative web and design company. SmallDogCreative.com.
The Art Gallery of Santa Clarita Artists Association, located in downtown Newhall on 6th Street between Railroad and Main, features local members' original artwork with changing exhibits every 2 months. Purchase affordable art for your home or as gifts. Open Friday through Sunday or by appointment. Artists wishing to join the SCAA can visit santaclaritaartist.org, come to our free monthly meetings at Barnes & Noble, or stop by the gallery. For upcoming shows, check us out at santaclaritaartist.org. We make visual art visible.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call the Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today. Discover the memory care your loved one deserves at Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's brand new luxury senior living community in Santa Clarita. Oakmont's innovative memory care program features stimulating and engaging activities in a soothing environment, as well as compassionate professional care delivered in the privacy of residents' apartment homes. With 2 gorgeous outdoor courtyards as well as an on-site movie theater, residents will enjoy a life full of vitality, dignity, and purpose. For more information, visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Welcome to the Senior Hour. The following is paid programming and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220, KHTS. And we're speaking with Miles McNamara of Comfort Keepers in Home Care, one of our sponsors. And you have something specific that you wanted us to discuss.
Yeah, we've been talking about the dynamics of parenting our parents and when our adult kids are kind of thrust into that unenviable role. But we have an annual event at our senior center, and this year it's going to be at our brand new senior center over there on Golden Valley Road.
Bella Vida.
Bella Vida. That's right. It's called Bella Vida, not just the senior center, which is awesome. But it's our annual Caregiver Resource Day. Proud to be Comfort Keepers as a platinum sponsor for that. But Caregiver Resource Day is, again, where the family caregivers are given an opportunity to know what resources are out there. I mean, other than home care, there's so many other resources out there for our seniors. So save the date, folks. If you don't, I know you know somebody who has somebody who's taking care of an aging loved one, but it's Saturday, September 21st. So I'm giving you all lots of notice, a month from now almost. Is Saturday, September 27th from 9 a.m. to
27th or 21st?
Did I say 7th?
Yes.
Well, then color me silly. It's September 21, okay. September 21st. Thanks for catching that. And it's from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at Bella Vita, our new Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center at 27180 Golden Valley Road. But come to hometownstation.com. They'll have it listed there as events. You can call me or you send me an email at miles@comfortkeepers.com. But Saturday, September 21st is going to be a great event. Let me put my glasses on here because I did take photos. We have some keynote speakers. Laura Trejo is the general manager of the Los Angeles Department of Aging and Caregiving. She's going to be speaking on caregiving and the master plan for aging. The Alzheimer's is going to be there, the Alzheimer's Association. They're going to be talking about the research of the Alzheimer's Association and where are we today. Freddie Siegel Guidon she's the director of the USC Rancho California Alzheimer's Disease Center. And then also we're going to have Roy Steinberg, he's a PhD, going to be talking about working with older adults and their family caregivers, solutions for difficult behaviors. So as you can see, there's going to be a lot of insight, a lot of experts, a lot of resources. So I know we all know somebody, if we're not doing it ourselves, that are family caregivers, whether we want to admit it or not. We talked about earlier that if you're just checking in on somebody, you are a family caregiver.
Absolutely.
Or a caregiver of some level. So put that on your calendars, September 21st. It's a Saturday at Bella Vita, our new senior center, from 9 a.m. to 2:30. There is a small cost to cover the cost of the materials that will be handed out. It's $10 to attend. If you have any questions or have any additional information needs, you can call the Senior Center at 661-259-9444, 661-259-9444. Ricky Sawyer is kind of running point. Of course, Suzanne Nelson, the director of supportive services, is always the queen over there, making sure it happens the way it's supposed to. Or just shout out to me, and I'll give you more information as well. Small cost of $10, 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Saturday, September 21st at Bella Vita.
And I think those who are listening and taking numbers down, can you once again give your number and contact information?
Yeah, it's Miles with a Y at comfortkeepers.com if you want to shoot me an email, or 661-287-4200, 661-287-4200. My office has been on Lyons Avenue for almost 2 decades now, been proudly serving our seniors here in Santa Clarita. I also have an office in Encino, so if you have loved ones that are still living out in the San Fernando Valley, I have an Encino office out there as well. So our footprint basically is south of Ventura Boulevard all the way up through Santa Clarita and out to Palmdale. So,
and Miles, you and I have worked together for a long time, and we've seen what we have attempted to help our seniors with, and the master plan on aging most people haven't heard about, but that's a big topic that at some point we will be talking about. But money is going into older adults right now in the state of California. So because it is, we have to be able to take advantage of that and move forward with the ideas that are out there to allow our seniors to participate, to be involved, to have their independence, to be able to live their life, not be in a nursing home, but live their life in a way that with dignity, with the hope that they will be able to achieve everything that they have wanted as they have aged and retired.
Yeah.
So your job has been tremendous in this community, and we've all appreciated that, not just the information highway that you have provided, but also the knowledge base to keep our seniors in their home.
Right. Well, thank you.
One of the things that we didn't touch on, unfortunately, and we don't have time to, is the elderly homeless population. Yes. And we have quite a few in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Yeah, and the city's working on that. The city's got a lot of great, campaigns coming up. I know one I've been involved in is suicide awareness and prevention. They've got the senior, not just senior homeless, but all homeless. One thing what you were saying, Dr. Dorio, is I wish our seniors would take a step back and realize that they are still one of, if not the largest voter bloc on the planet. And talk to your legislators, talk to your representatives, because talk about the lion that could roar. The seniors, as I said, if not, they are close to the largest voting bloc on the planet. Take advantage of it.
Yeah. Be empowered.
That's right.
That's what we have to do. We have to vote. We have to get out there and carry our banners to make sure that people understand that we are here and we're not going away.
That's right.
And that's the last thing that is going to happen in this community because of people like you, Miles.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate it. Yes. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care, Miles McNamara, and Advanced Audiology. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.